Alright, so today's project is All You Need Is Love sign. I got this from Michael's and it's unfinished wood, so we're going to be painting the distress look on the wood. So I'm first starting out using the Waverly chalk in truffle, and it's a matte finish as the base of that trim of the frame. As you can see here, I'm mixing it a little bit with that light cashew color. I'm also using Waverly chalk for that, and as it just kind of adds a little bit of that dimension to what I'm doing there. So next I'm using the Waverly chalk in matte finish and cashew color and just distressing that darker brown. So I'm using barely any paint and applying it very lightly around the frame. As you can see, the bottom, I felt like it had a little bit too much of that distressing color. So once paint dries, I will go over it with a darker brown again to cover some of that up. So in just a moment, I will show you a trick that I used to remove the extra paint that's on the chalkboard, since I didn't use any painter's tape. I personally use doTERRA's brand Lemon Essential Oil. You can use any brand, just make sure it's very high quality for the potency, and it will make what you're doing so much easier. I'm just using a Q-tip and adding some oils to the Q-tip and then going around and remove the paint. As you can see, they come off really easily. And it's all natural, no chemicals. Not to mention, it just smells heavenly. And we're ready to cut out the transfer. So it already has all the lines for you to cut apart. And a lot of them are layers as well as additional add-ons that you can create for your project you're doing. You'll see there's a little spot right there, and you simply just use a baby wipe and it seriously just comes right off. Since I'm using a brand new transfer, just make sure you fuzz it really well. I usually do about 3 to 4 times and it's still very sticky, and you can place it how you like it on your project. And I can be a little anal about my project, so you'll be seeing me adjusting it a couple times until I find a spot that I like. And now I'm using that 4-inch squeegee that comes in very handy. So all you need is, I'm gonna be doing that in white. So that's the bright white paste. And then you just stir it really well and then applying it in dollops onto the transfer. At first, I'm applying it pretty thick, just so making sure everything is covered and it doesn't dry out so easily. And I'm just really careful applying the paste onto All You Need Is without getting onto the love, because I'll be doing that in the current jam. I'm really loving this color. Is it pronounced as current or currant? Let me know in the comment below the correct pronunciation for that word. I call it currant, but I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm just scraping that off really well, and I'm doing that also to the white now. I should have added a little bit of water just to thin up the paste for the white. Not sure if you can tell, but it is a little bit thicker than I would like, and so that's okay. Everything will still turn out very nice. It just takes a little bit more to make sure everything is evenly on there. And so I'm just working out the little details and making sure the white doesn't get into the love. And now you just pull from the corners and then make sure you're not stretching the transfer because it is reusable. So as you can see that I missed that little spot, and that's okay. You can either touch it up with a paintbrush using the paste. I left it because I like the way it adds a little bit of that rusticness to my piece. And so I'm now adding all the little add-ons. So that's a little flower, and in this case I'm using light pink. It's called Cherry Blossom. And then I'm adding a couple pieces of leaves right there. And I'm gonna do those in honeydew color. It's a lighter green that's really pretty. So I'm using that. I ended up putting a leaf on top, and then I'll be putting one at the bottom as well. Then they have the little additional sparkles or whatever those are, and the little pollen things on the flowers. I didn't end up liking that flower I initially put on, so I will be changing that to a different flower in just a second. So I kept it on the video because I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to remove if you ever make a mistake or you're just not liking how it's turning out. You simply add water and you wet the spot that you want to remove. It could be the whole entire board, and you can just wipe it right off. So right now I'm just using a little bit of the magic eraser with water, and then I'm using that baby wipe to just wipe it really clean. And then there's a tiny little spot, so I'm just using the Q-tip and with water, and it also comes right off. And then to speed up the drying process, you just use a blow dryer and it dries super quick. Okay, so the new flower that I'm using, I'm still using it with the light pink cherry blossom color, and I love it so much better. Again, you see I'm a little bit clumsy today, and I just cleaned it right up, and making sure when you're working with more than one layer that your base layer is super dry so it doesn't pull up the paint. And I'm just using the black paste for the middle, the pollen, the add-on onto the flower. And see, I love it so much more. Thank you guys for watching today. If you liked my video, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the next one.